Hey guys, it's Cat Demon 43 and welcome back to another episode of The Letter. Last time, well, to put it simply, I tried recording this episode before, got an hour and a half in, and I came to realize after stopping the recording that I didn't actually record. So much of my reactions to the first part of Marianne's story won't be really much a very first reaction, considering I had already done it. It just, my computer decided to be a jerk and not record. So I had to reconfigure my computer a bit, reconfigure the game a bit, and here's hoping that this time it'll work. So I got back off to where I originally left off, and yeah. So, but yeah, in the last episode, the actual last episode with Zach, it wasn't very much of anything that had happened. It was kind of lackluster because, well, it was very short and nothing really all that big happened. It was kind of left on a cliffhanger, which kind of mad at, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what, we'll probably figure it out when we get to Ash's story. Or, heck, even Rebecca's. So, yeah. Anyway, so let's continue and see, redo everything with frickin' Marianne's. So, Marianne's, because I promise every time I start a new character's story, I'd read every one of these. Even though I've already done this technically, I'm just gonna do it again. So, birthday, July 14th, Cancer, 30 years old, height, 5'11", occupation, interior designer, former architect. Nationality, Irish. Religion, Roman Catholic. Education, Bachelor of Arts in Architecture. Likes chocolate, cats, which also before I mentioned in Zachary's storyline how everyone seems to not like cats. I keep forgetting that Marianne owns a cat. Classical arts, country music, karaoke, board games, video games, anime, and other obscure pop culture items. Yoga. And nowadays, video games and anime aren't necessarily obscure kind of stuff. It can be, though, depending on what group of people you're in with, but yeah. And, oh god, your background, it still hurts. Okay. Left in a dumpster as a baby, she was found by a peddler and spent most of her childhood roaming the countryside in a beat-up van. Her father taught her how to read, write, and pray. Though an unconventional life, it was all she knew. Yeah, I was actually really mortified when reading just that first line of being left in a dumpster as a baby, and that's just, ugh. I just felt so horrible for her. Child welfare and protection eventually caught on and required that she have a proper education. She was provided a scholarship at St. Samanthan School for Young Ladies and was bullied for being a charity kid. And I still think that sucks. That's not right. That's not fair. So yeah, she got a scholarship into the school. It shouldn't really matter to these kids, but apparently they think it's funny. Screw those kids. Marianne had only had one friend, and was mostly focused on her studies. Intent on graduating and returning to her father, ashamed that he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's too soon after. Yeah, that's just... I'm not sure if her father then is still alive, or if he's not, or what, but that Alzheimer's is probably one of the worst things to deal with, I think. That your mind is slowly fading away with the rest of your body, and your body is like the last thing to go, but it's your mind, your memory, your thoughts, your speech, everything just starts to fade. And I think, like, everyone talks about, oh, cancer's horrible and all that stuff. Yeah, it is horrible, but I mean, think of what it would be like if you were slowly losing things, like your friend's birthday, your own child's name, your parents' names, things like that. That would be awful. Her work as an architect in Ireland lasted until the Irish economic crisis. She moved to England, and after some time, Luxbourne in search of better career opportunities. So, yeah, she was definitely one of those types that literally worked from the bottom up to get a good life. And I still think that photo on her desk might be a photo of her father. At least I think it is. Okay. The numbers are so little on the top of my screen, and they glare at me with such intensity that I can hear their accusations. I'm late for a night out with the girls, yes, but I have a perfectly good excuse. Geez. Considering I didn't follow typical office hours, they really can't expect me to be able to just go as I please at 5:30 on the dot. The client is, first and foremost, my priority. I have to sit tight while my personal assistant, Chris, tells me we have a big one coming up, and that I shouldn't miss this one. He knows a lot more on the who's who and the what's what when it comes to those socialites, and I trust that judgment call. I really don't have time for rich people, their drama and their politics. These sorts who were born with silver spoons in their mouths, and who were used to wagging their silver tongues about. I let him handle the negotiating with them for the most part. Why else would I have hired him? But he told me I'd receive a message about it an hour ago.
Now, if only he has the full shilling when it comes to the time.
Come on, I have a social life too, you know, to an extent. Sort of. Oh, pressing my hand against the table, I tried to stave off an oncoming headache when the notification for a new email pops up. An email, all I'm expecting is, hey, this looks like a good project I found. Go send them a design. Or something like that, really. That's how it often goes. Even with these rich, jammy clients who's heard of me through their equally rich, jammy friends, I can't expect them to hire me right off the bat. Which is all well and good and reasonable. We figure out what they want, send them my portfolio, my drafts to their projects, my rates, and hope for the best. Okay. This is a big client, Marianne. I'll babysit Berthiel for you. Okay, so I'll read the email first. So, this is a big client, Marianne. I'll babysit Berthiel for you, which is her cat. Just please take this one project. I promise this person is huge in Luxbourne. This email and my attachments are intended solely for the use of this addressee. If you are not the intended recipient, they have been sent to you in error. Any unauthorized use of information is strictly prohibited. Mr. Parker, this is a formal request to secure services for Marianne McCullough, hereafter called the designer. Let's see, so Mr. Parker is hereafter called the designer, as authorized by Hannah Wright, hereafter called the client for interior design work at Ermengarde Mansion, Luxbourne, LX18 0RF, United Kingdom. The client hopes to have the designer there on 21st of October, Friday, with the time pending. The fact that I can read it on this smaller screen makes me very impressed. But as I open the mail and see that I have been requested by the client specifically, well, I certainly didn't expect that, and it's pretty straightforward, too. Anyone else who'd probably be excited, they would be working for the Hannah Wright. She's just one of those rich socialites everyone loves to talk about, no matter how hard I try to tune out such nonsense. It would have been enough for me to reply an affirmative to Chris and leave, but he has never pleaded for me to take a project before. We worked with the big personalities in the past, celebrities, bankers, even a few politicians. My PA has been indifferent about those. So the question bounced around my skull before I spied one of the email attachments. A newspaper clipping from the Luxbourne dailies business news section, boasting the headline, Wright Enterprises donates $2.5 million to refugee. To refuge, not refugee. At the grand opening of a new Wright Hotel last Wednesday, our local billionaire couple, Luke and Hannah Wright, announced the donation of $2.5 million to help Luxbourne Refuge keep their services open. Unexpected, but certainly welcome. This follows only a month after the couple's previous donation of the same amount to Save the Children UK. One of the largest donations, this amount will help keep the safe house in Luxbourne open for several years. With this money, Refuge can keep helping women, children, and victims of domestic violence. There are rumors as well of the charity talking with the couple and looking into building a local center equivalent to their Gaia and Athena locations. These rumors have come to us due to one of the Enterprise's employees mentioning a Project EOS. It certainly caused quite a stir back then. Apparently, they had invited businessmen and socialites everywhere, in the guise of it being some big business announcement.
2.5 mil and an expensive-looking party to boot. These people sure know how to throw their money around.
Yeah, I mean, but again, after we had played Hannah's story, we know that Hannah actually does deeply care about people. And on top of which, she seems very personable and would rather just get to know you regardless of where you come from. Like, if you were your social background kind of thing. She'd rather get to know people than just, the bigwigs and everything like that. So, I think that's honestly really cool. Not that I should be so callous. They're going to do a lot of good and help a community of people with those pounds. I, of all people, shouldn't criticize such acts, whether they were for show or not. At the very least, I know they'll be able to pay my rates. With the headline out of the way, however, I find myself staring at the picture that came along with the clipping. Because, wow. Here I am, expecting a sour old woman in a blazer and skirt, but the woman that has plastered on the front page looks like she belongs on the front page of the entertainment section, or even, if I am to be crass, a pin-up for a glamour. Okay, I'll be real here. A men's magazine. Well, she is very pretty. She sure knows how to rock that dress. It's the same one she has in the game. Wait. Her hair, her eyes, her lips. She can't be her. Who the heck is her? And at the same time, she is her, only several years older. She looks just like... No, come on, Mac. The world is full of pretty blondes. My mom is one. It's just a coincidence. With a shake of my head, I snap out of it and reach out for my phone when it buzzes, nearly falling off my chair in the process. Who else would be on the other line but the very people waiting for me?
Oh, piss. I'm so sorry, Cam. I'm on my way.
An email from the Wrights came requesting Marianne McCullough expertise for their home. What seemed like an innocent commission made a different impact on the famous designer after seeing the picture of the Wright missus. Yeah. Still question some of it. That's what I say. Yet I still don't move from my chair, face flushed and heart racing. I can only stare until I will myself to reply that yes, I'm accepting the assignment. Oh, that yes, I'm accepting the assignment. And it takes even more time for me to just close the image, shut down my computer, and leave. Even then, it has already burned its image into my head, no matter how much I wish it would just disappear. It makes me eager for the alcohol and the company. It makes me eager for anything that can help me forget. It's a good thing that the nearest pub is just a hop, skip, and a jump from here. This is a nice location. It looks nice. I honestly do like it. It looks really cool. The Galway Shawl, as it is called by those who frequented the place. It's the only decent Irish pub in this county. You can pretty much tell that someone is new if they call it by its official name, the Crawlball Bar. My home away from home ever since I moved to Luxbourne. Well, that is when I'm not cooped up in my condo and working away. It has good alcohol, good company, and thank God in St. Cecilia, good music. Crowd favorites like the Bothy Noise, the High Whistling Men, and Second Fusion Orchestra are often played here. I probably butchered those names. I am so sorry. Not to mention the singing. Alright, they probably have a karaoke thing here. I love singing. Anyone could just break out into a drinking song, and the others in the pub were just wonderful that they'd start singing along. And doing so while intoxicated is the best way to go about it. Hey, it's a win-win, as long as I don't puke in the middle of the chorus, and as long as I can get home in one piece at the end of the day. And tonight is karaoke night. What a better time than to try to sing all my worries away. That's what my intoxicated brain tells me. Oh God.
The ghost of guilt and sorrow remembers who I am, and in the prison of my heart, I was my only slave.
So I'm pretty sure that the song she is singing, the voice actress that's singing, is the song for the ending credits of the game, I think. But yeah, really good voice for the voice. Really, really good singing. I can't sing for crap, so it's really lovely. But drinking only reminds me of my home, and the thought of home makes me think of her. Again, who the heck is her?
But in the depths of my cold soul, I'll leave the burden and despair.
It makes me nauseous. It sickens me that the smallest reminder of her can cause me such grief.
I'll fight for what's worth fighting for. Forget the fear, forget the rest.
Of course, that might just be the booze. Any other day, I would have scolded myself for drinking so much.
I lied to the Lord, I lied to myself, I lied to you and everyone I care, until there were no more lies to tell.
But I already have a client, and we'll be having our first little meet and greet in a few days.
Cowardice is easier than being brave, but at last I found the strength I lost to sing my love letter to you. 'Cause people can lie, but my lone heart beats true.
I want to at least enjoy this night, get over the hangover tomorrow, and return to being a prim and proper professional after.
That song was for Cam, our lucky bride-to-be. So give her a hand, Galway shawl.
Considering the state I'm in, one can excuse my smug grin as cheers and applause rise among the pub's patrons. Because, possibly off-key public singing aside, I feel like I'm on top of the world right now. And that's a good reason as any to belt out in front of these strangers. Blech. With good drinks and good friends, there's nowhere else I'd rather be tonight. And forget for a short while.
And that song was brought to you by Marianne McCullough, everyone! A round of applause!
That was so good! You rock, Marianne.
Oh, please stop. You're just saying that.
You know neither of us can hold a tune, Marianne. A toast to our shameless drunk singer. May your drinks forever flow and your notes be ever lovely.
Ah, that's great. I like that.
If anyone deserves a toast tonight, that's Cam. Finally sealed the deal after 3 years, eh?
Read 'em and weep, bitches.
Camilla's diamond engagement ring gleams as she holds up for all the world to see. She has reasons to be proud. 3 years of living together, and her boyfriend finally asked her the big question. Obviously, she said yes.
Don't get too attached to that ring or the one after, sweetie. I was wearing a wedding ring not so long ago, and look at where I am.
Aw, still feel bad about that.
But enough of me being a downer. Cheers to a happy engagement!
Yeah, drink more. Of course, if something like Haruna's divorce were to happen, I'd be there for Cam. Just as Cam had been there for me, acting more than just my yoga instructor. I can't be happier for my friend right now.
Cheers!
Cheers.
Well, we both will be there for Cam, won't we? Haruna and I? Haruna, it's been a real bad year for her ever since her divorce. She's such a nice person, even loaning me money to open a studio, and she didn't deserve what her husband had pulled. Makes me wonder what her husband did. Did he, cheat on her or something? Or embezzle money? I don't know. I'm happy she's smiling again and picking it like she used to. I think we've all missed our Japanese firecracker. We met in yoga class, something I had joined to keep myself in shape and, well, honestly, so that I could make friends when I had moved to Luxembourg. Clearly, it worked like a charm. And it definitely did not have anything to do with the fact that I brought along my lucky D20 die with me on the first day. No, sir. I have no idea what a D20 is. I love these girls so much.
What about you, Marianne? You're 30 years old and you still haven't got yourself a man.
And you guys know I have a very busy schedule. I don't have time for that.
Oh, come on! That's a lame excuse and you know it! You need a man who'll take care of you and you need it now! Maybe some hunk who'll be your house hubby while you rake in the dough.
I'm quite capable of taking care of myself. Who needs a Mr. Right?
Friends.
Hey, look at me. I'm Marian McCullough, a lawful neutral cleric with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in charisma, but I can't get myself a date.
Oh, God. I mentioned druids and demons once. And they don't even know the rules or understand what the numbers mean. And I certainly am not some sort of holy person. I am a far cry from a miracle worker, and I barely have the willpower to fight off demons, especially my own.
Actually, maybe she isn't looking for a Mr. Right, but a Mrs. Right. Oh, my Marianne, we still love you even if you're in the closet.
That would explain some things.
Oh my gosh, friends. Seriously. Ugh. Sometimes you just got friends that'll will just innocently poke at you. They don't mean any harm by it or any of that. But, sometimes even though that happens. Friendship. Friendship is weird.
How do you know you don't have a ring anymore? Maybe you two can be together and I don't have to worry about my best girls being alone.
What are you on about? There's nothing to explain.
But the more I deny, the louder they tease until other people in the pub start to watch. It doesn't help at all when Haruna drapes her arm over my shoulders and leans in.
Will I be all yours then? Will you be making me feel like a woman?
Oh my god. I know they're just kidding around, but this doesn't make me comfortable in the slightest. Yeah, sometimes friends can just go a little bit too far. So when Kamala notices my silence and Haruna sees the expression on my face, they stop. And when the awkward air settles over us, the rest of the pub goes back to whatever they were doing before the whole thing ever happened. They probably won't even remember it when they wake up with massive hangovers anyway.
Sorry.
Me too.
Hey, no hard feelings, right?
I raise my glass. They smile. We drink. There's no need to say more. We're all definitely far too drunk tonight. Eventually, the fun times end. It's a weekday, after all. And with Haruna being a nurse, she still has to get ready for her next shift. Cam also has a loving fiancé waiting for her at home, and really didn't have to make a fuss about having left some buns in the oven when she took off early. Really, I understand. I was the one who insisted, who was determined to get pissed drunk anyway. Moving to the bar, I sit. Alone at last. Alone with a stranger. Yep. So, in the beginning of the game with Isabella's story, we had that little bit where Marianne, where Luke here makes a comment to Marianne, almost as if he knew her. And Marianne was like, no, I don't know. I don't know her. I don't know him. I don't know him at all. And that's where this comes into play. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, God. I haven't seen him here before. Obviously not a regular. He hasn't said a word and just sits there, savoring his drink. With his whiskey served neat in one hand and a lighter in the other, it doesn't seem like he's noticed me yet, and maybe I should go before he does look my way. Because he was pretty, and he was blonde, and those two things plus alcohol never did me any good. I thought too late. Oh, God. Okay. Judging by the way his flushed face and dazed look in his eyes, he's as pissed drunk as I am. But whereas I feel like keeling over, he looks like he's still ready to take the catwalk by storm. Really, he just has the air of one of those men who think they own the world.
Hello there, sexy. Please don't stand up on my account. I already like what I see. Fancy a drink? It'll be on me.
But then again, I might be pleasantly surprised if he proves me wrong.
Want some between the sheets? Sex on the beach? I'm talking cocktails, of course.
Uh-huh. Sure. Sure you are. Okay. Fat chance. Yeah. But it doesn't matter. We both know how to play this game. There are two different ways for the night to end. One thing or another is going to happen. The question is, what do I want to do?
Oh no, that's fine. I'd rather order some blue balls or some AMF if you don't mind.
Oh, God. He looks like he's about to say some witty retort, but stops himself and downs the rest of his whiskey. I order a mint julep. I pronounced that wrong, I'm sorry. He gets another whiskey, and we start the customary small talk. Of course, they say, ask me no questions and I'll tell you no lies, goes without saying. We ask nothing about each other, offering up falsehood to establish a strenuous, fake connection between two strangers at a pub, if only to pass the time. Whiskey, as I have come to call him, is supposedly 21 years old, liar, single, liar, takes care of his sick mother, and is a manager of some sort. Liar on all accounts. Manager of what? Manager of the world. I didn't care to listen to the details. Meanwhile, Mint, as he has come to call me, is 29, and I'm... What did I say again? Oh yes, I told him that I was a professional chocolate taster. That'd be an amazing job. Because fuck it. If I'm going to lie about what my job is, might as well make it fun. Oh, that's great. It's a pretty decent chat between two pretty drunk strangers. And maybe it's just me, but we might as fucking well expend the tiniest amount of effort pretending there's something meaningful in this meeting. Would have been nice too, if it was just left at that. But during a lull in the conversation, he brings it up.
You know, I've never been with a woman taller than me.
And to think he might have been different from the rest.
Never have and never will, whiskey. Can we go back to the history of chocolates? Did you know that chocolate candy was introduced in 19th century England as a healthier alternative to alcohol?
I honestly didn't know that, and I still find that fascinating. I want to look into that. It's pretty cool. St. Lucy was the most beautiful woman of her time. She had men come from all four corners of the world just to see the pure light of her exquisite green eyes. If she were so lucky, anyway.
No, enough of the history lesson.
He sounds so pained when saying that.
Come on, Mint. You know and I know what you came here for.
Oh, God. Though not every suitor was gallant, she was no fool. She had known that sooner or later she wouldn't be able to defend her chastity.
Come on. There must be something that gets you going.
God. So she had taken out a knife. And gouged out her own eyes. Oh, God. Ugh. Ugh. Oh. Ugh.
There is something, but I don't think you can handle it.
Impressed with her devotion, God restored her eyes and made them more beautiful than before. He has a peculiar sense of humor, hasn't he? I guess. Because that only meant more suitors kept going after Lucy, and she kept her eyes in a chalice to scare them away.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I can handle whatever it is.
This is getting uncomfortable again. I don't like this. Saint Lucy, help me. Yeah, please. Help me turn away from sin. Kick him and run. Help me with my own blindness.
My place isn't too far from here. I won't take care of you if it ends up being too much for you.
Oh, shit. Oh, God, okay.
And no one will be able to hear you if you try to scream.
I still think that sci-fi reference is cool, but still, oh my God.
You sure you want to go down that road, pretty boy?
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Ugh. Oh God, not this again. Okay. Okay. Marianne went to the Crawl Bar, also called the Galleyway Shoal, by its patrons, for a night out with her close friends Cam and Haruna. When they left, Marianne was seen with a stranger whom she only referred to as Whiskey. In turn, she was called Mint. Okay, here we go. The best thing about having my condo so close to the pub is that it is easy of access. As long as I can still stand and walk, I can make it home. Maybe I need help from a kind neighbor or two to help me with the last leg if I've really gone overboard on the alcohol. But I've always made it home. Sometimes with company. Of course, that always comes with complications, especially with the real clingy ones. But this isn't anything a good tip about stalkers to the building security can't fix. I'm always nervous, though, even if this isn't the first time I've done this. In the first few minutes, after the first few minutes, when we entered my room, are the first few agonizing minutes where I try not to panic. Okay, Mac. So far, so good. Don't let him smell your fear under all that liquid courage. He'll leave sooner or later, and I'll never have to see him again. Just like every other man before him. Not in this game. I'd like to say to myself that the men I've brought to my place were more scared than I was. Yet there is no fear when I look into Whiskey's eyes, only delight. You have a pregnant wife, you son of a bitch. No. This is... Oh, I don't like this. When he starts touching me, I don't even hesitate when I push him against the door. Roughness is to be expected. And as long as he sticks to the script, everything will go smoothly. We'll have our little tumble in the sheets, he'll leave, and we'll forget all about it. Nope. If somebody asked what I really wanted, I would have told them that I wanted a bed of roses, chocolates, and music, maybe in an Irish castle. But all I really want is her, and that's never going to be a reality. I'm still wondering who the heck is her. That was my fault, of course. Because I was afraid. Because I was a coward. They would never hold a candle up to her. She was the light of my life, and I had let her go. I can't even be bothered at the thought of her. Just the single thought of her makes my resolve to see this affair through waver.
Wait!
What is...
Oh. Oops, my bad. Yes, what is it now? What is it going to be, Marianne? To sex? Or not to sex? We are not doing that, and I had already saved before, so... Like I said, this is where I had, this is the part where I kind of reached it, so... Anyway, this is wrong. You have a pregnant wife with twins, you blonde bastard. You are not doing this. I don't care how drunk you are. I don't care if you're calling it an excuse. No.
We're both drunk.
And...
This is wrong.
Thank you. Also, it went up. Good.
Don't you think it's a bit fucked up that we're about to have sex and we're just calling each other by the drinks that we had? How messed up are we?
Doll, shut up with the ethics and morality talk. It is seriously putting me out of the mood.
Good.
If you want to leave now, Whiskey, I understand. I mean, with how smashed you are, it'd probably be best for you to sleep the night unless you want to be mugged. But I won't stop you. And this isn't going to happen.
Bloody hell.
Of course, he's annoyed at me for putting off our night of sexual congress. But no means no. And beyond spewing a few profanities under his breath, he surprisingly simmers down soon enough. I was worried for a moment that he might try to force something. Instead, he makes a show of fixing his suit and smoothing down his hair before making himself comfortable on the nearest seat he could find.
What are you doing then? You have a guest in your home. Put the damn kettle on.
God damn it.
Dandelion tea if you have it. But I suppose all you have are those shitty tea bags from the store.
If it isn't for the absurdity of this turn of events, I would have flipped him off for thinking I have no taste. But in the end, I just laugh. All I got are cans of coriander ginseng and lemon balm, though. No dandelion. Without a second thought, I do wet the tea. That's 3 minutes to get the kettle to boil. 3 minutes where we say nothing to each other. I mean, what do you even say to the guy I was going to sleep with until I changed my mind? Yeah, that'd be awkward. I doubt that he's in the mood to talk about the influence of Troyes on Malore. It's still unusual by the time we're both seated on my bed, with mugs of tea in hand.
Just so you know, whatever is going on right now is a lot stranger and fucked up than the one night stand.
Yeah, maybe.
We are two messed up individuals by your logic.
Everything is messed up, if you ask me. War, terrorism, famine, poverty, loved ones and loved lost. Oh.
There's a lot about him I still question, too.
This whole world is a cesspool.
Yeah, it can be. The dead air is telling when it fills the room once more. One would think that this is the perfect time to burst, to spill about whatever issues that made us the fucked up person we are today. And it is. But I guess some part of me would rather not put the weight of my problems on somebody else's shoulder. It wouldn't be fair to leave that it wouldn't be fair to leave that to a person when I don't even know if we'll ever see each other again. You will soon. Like, maybe in a day or two. Sooner rather than later, we both pass out on my bed, mugs left forgotten on the floor. When I wake, whiskey is already gone. A bottle of painkillers and a note on the table are the only evidence that I wasn't alone last night. Thanks for the tea, Marianne. I still question how he knows our real name. I don't even question where these are from, or just how he knew my real name. I'm just grateful for something to help with the hangover. Okay. Alright. Marianne and Whiskey went back to her condo after having one too many drinks. However, Marianne changed her mind about the one-night stand and ended up sharing tea with him instead. The next morning, the stranger left with nothing but a note and a bottle of painkillers. Anyway, I'm yeah, you can probably see. I'm gonna leave that here, because this is where I had originally left it off. And I feel bad that I screwed up with the recording process the first time, but here's hoping that it won't happen again. It might not, I don't know, but we'll see. But anyway, guys, I hope you liked the start of Marianne's story, and let me know what you guys think, what your thoughts are, theories, things like that. I'd love to hear what you think, and I will see you on the next episode. So with all that said, I hope you all have a wonderful day, night, week, whenever, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!